This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's number one show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. The Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, and you see I got the score wrong. The Knicks actually won 91-82, not the Lakers. So I'm going to change that really, really quick before people get mad at me. The Knicks defeat the Lakers 91-82. In the third game of Summer League, the Knicks are now 2-1 in Summer League, ladies and gentlemen. And we've seen some good basketball play tonight. As a matter of fact, from both teams. We've seen good play from both teams tonight. The New York Knicks were led by Emmanuel Quickley. Quickley had a really good game, in my opinion. I think he played a really good floor game tonight. He had 25 points. He had 7 assists. Did have 3 turnovers. He was 10 for 10 from the free throw line. He didn't shoot well from the three-point line. He was only 1 for 6 from the three-point line. Next, you got Miles McBride. McBride played a really good game. He shot well from the field. He was 7 for 9 from the field, 6 for 6 from the free throw line. He had 22 points, 5 assists, and 7 rebounds. And then Obi Toppin, he had 17 points and 11 rebounds for the New York Knicks. And the Knicks looked good tonight. I thought they did some really, really good things, especially against the zone. When the Lakers were trying to implement that full court press to slow down the Knicks, they slowed them down a little bit, but the Knicks continuously found a way to break it. The shots didn't fall from the beginning, but then the shots started to fall, and they had to kind of fall out of that full court pressure. Very good game from the New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. Very good game. We got Nate in the building. We got Big Bubba in the building. I'm going to bring these guys over, let them say what's up to you. And in the meantime, I'm going to change the score. Make sure I got the score right. Let's get it popping. Big Bubba, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
Hey, what's going on, Sim? What's going on, Nate? What's going on, Chad? I feel great, man. We just watched a great game from both sides, man. Really good. This is that's peak Summer League game that you're gonna get, man. Really happy for of course, Deuce, Quickly, Obi, Rhymes. They all played great games, and we're gonna talk about them. I'm super excited.
Yeah, Nate.
Yeah, man, great game. These Summer League games, I've been watching a lot of them, man. It's just fun to watch. Like, it's really becoming must-see TV with these young guys. And my boy Deuce, man, he popped tonight, so I'm happy to talk about him.
Yeah, let's get it. First, before we get to Deuce, I want to talk about Emmanuel Quickley, because before the game started, I said, I want to see Emmanuel Quickley. I want to see him continue to learn how to be a floor general. And he did that tonight, I thought. I thought he played a very good floor game. I thought he did a good job of penetrating and finding open shooters. The one time in the first half when Jokubaitis was, kind of crowding the left side of the floor, and he told him, hey, we need you to get over here to the corner, get to the other side of the floor. He got to the other side of the floor, quickly penetrated, found him in the corner. Jokubaitis knocked down a three-pointer. Right? I thought Quickley did a really, really good job. And then, of course, they had him mic'd up. He's saying a lot of good things, saying a lot of right things. We need you guys to talk. All right, we don't know who's tagging. We don't know who's switching. Right? Because we're not talking. Tom Thibodeau, you heard it in the broadcast, said that he spoke to Quickley. He spoke to Obi, said, we need you guys to step up and be leaders. And they're both doing their best to step up and be leaders out there on the floor. Miles McBride said that Quickley is constantly talking to him about, basketball and the basketball game and what's expected from the guards in this system and from Tom Thibodeau and all of those kind of things. I think tonight was a pretty good game from Immanuel Quickley. Big Bubba, what do you think, man?
Yes, I 100% agree with you. To me, you got to go back to the draft and the players that these guys wanted. And the guys got high character guys and guys that are, really just, even when Obi got first drafted, you could tell he just high energy. Quickly, they all said the right thing. So, shout out to the Knicks for picking these kind of guys. And, I'm glad they're stepping up. They stepped up really big. Like Tom Thibodeau sees the leader qualities in these guys. Because I believe Tom Thibodeau's top coach. If he doesn't see it, he won't tell you. So, again, when these guys needed it, they stepped up. I love listening to the audio today. I thought that was really great. I think, to me, this was Quickly's best point guard game. You hate to see the 3 turnovers, but that's okay, man. You're still learning position. You're gonna see those type of things. But his leadership today was just so prevalent today. His direction of the floor, his command of the floor was really there. That was my biggest takeaway. Of course he's gonna score. That's what he does. But just him controlling the floor, controlling the tempo, and leading these guys and putting them in position to get the best shots and have them defensively moving and having them talking. I mean, you can't ask for any more from this kid, especially after only 2 months of what we've seen from him before to where he is now. This kid's going to continue getting better.
Yeah, and, with the 3 turnovers, when you have the ball in your hands as much as Quickly does on this team, you're going to turn the basketball over. Bottom line, it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Especially for a guy it's even more prevalent for a guy that's learning to be a point guard more. Yeah, I mean, we're going to see it. So I'm not.
Right. I mean, even if he wasn't learning to be a point guard and you're in the NBA, you could be a point guard that's been in the league for 10 years and you might have 3 turnovers in a game. You know what I'm saying? Because just because you have the ball in your hands so many times, and right now, I don't know what the actual percentages are, but I would say Immanuel Quickley, has like a 30% usage rate on this Summer League team. When he's in the game, the ball is in his hands. And when it came down to the end of the game, Immanuel Quickley decided, I'm going to go get buckets. And they couldn't stop him from going and getting those buckets. He took the game over at the end. And it was nice. It was nice to see. He took the game over. And then you had Miles McBride, who was there they went into that zone. And he was there to knock down some threes, which made them spread the floor out, which opened up the lanes for Quickley to drive. But stay on Quickley. I brought up McBride, but let's stay on Quickley for a minute. Nate, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I think Quickley, like I said, has played better at the point guard position. He had 7 assists, so that gives him almost 20-something assists in 3 games with very little turnovers. I don't know what his total turnovers are, but, I mean, he's really trying to get other players involved, which is really impressive to me. But one thing I'll say about him is, man, this guy can just light it up. I mean, he can score from all 3 levels. I mean, he can do the three-pointer. He's got the little floater game, and then he's got that ability to just break down the defender with this speed and get to the cup. I mean, this guy, if he just continues to have this aggressive mentality, he's probably going to be closing some games for us. There's no doubt. You're going to have him on the floor because this guy can get you buckets.
Yeah. I see some people say, Quickly's still not a point guard, this and that. He still can't run. But look, we understand what he is, but just give him credit for what he did tonight. That's all I'm saying. Let's talk about what he did tonight. And I thought he was impressive tonight, played a good floor game, and he's learning that position. He's not going to start over Kemba. He's not going to, start over Derrick Rose if it came down to that. You know what I mean? But we need a third guy. And Quickly's shown that he could be that third guy. At least tonight he's shown it. And do I expect there to be some inconsistencies in his play? Yes, I do. There's going to be nights when the defense is a little bit tougher. He has a harder time to get into his spots. He can't get to the lane the way he was doing tonight. People are going to, get their hands on those kickouts and things like that. It's going to happen. I get it. I definitely get it. Right? But tonight, he played well. And that's a step in the right direction. That's the progress that we want to see out of Summer League. He played well tonight. Played a good floor game. And, you could see the progression from game to game. I said it before during the pregame. I thought he played better versus Indiana, and he got better tonight. That's the progression you want to see. That's exactly what Summer League is for. He's a work in progress. Yes, he is. But, let's watch and enjoy the process and see where it takes us. Now let's talk about Miles McBride. Because this kid, ladies and gentlemen, you know what?
Nice.
Emmanuel quickly played well. But Miles McBride, I think, I'm going to do an episode. I'm going to do an episode maybe after Summer League, IQ versus McBride. I probably shouldn't have said that because now somebody else might jump out there and do IQ versus McBride. I might see it on 3BL or something. Who knows?
Oh, wow.
I'd probably be happy if I did see it on 3BL because at least it means that he's doing something. But I'm not going to go there. Let's talk about Miles McBride. All right, we'll talk about Miles McBride. First of all, his defense. His activity and energy on defense is just off the charts. You heard Doris Burke talk about it all night long, and you can it's just there. You know what I mean? And he moves his feet well. He's able to snap if he gets beat by a split second. He's able to snap back into position quickly. Right? He's got long arms, so he can give space to the offensive player, but still be able to play tight defense because his arms are long. Right? He understands how to play team defense. He obviously talks, right? You can see him already. He's a leader. He's a leader already. You can see him on the floor. He brings guys into the huddle. He's just a straight up leader. He can shoot the basketball. He can handle pressure defense. If it wasn't for Miles McBride, I'm not sure if we beat that press that LA was playing. Because he did a great job of handling the press, passing through the press, finding the right guy to pass to, finding the right pressure release. Every time he found the right pressure release, he hit that button, released the pressure. And, for a little while, like I said, the Knicks were getting the open shots, not hitting them. Eventually, they started to hit those shots. But Miles McBride, man, really, really like what I've seen from him tonight. And he's confident. He stepped on the floor confident from the first Summer League game. And his confidence is going to continue to grow from there. Now, of course, Emmanuel quickly is there. So when it comes to the regular season, those two guys are going to be vying for minutes. But Emmanuel quickly better watch out because Miles McBride already has it on the defensive end. I think he's a little bit more patient on the offensive end. The thing that quickly has going for him is that he's more maybe a little bit more explosive as far as scoring the basketball. Getting up points in bunches. And he puts pressure on the defense because he can create that foul. But Miles McBride is going to have something to say. It's going to be a good competition in training camp, I think. Big Bubba, talk to me.
Hey, Sim, I want to say first thing first. We got almost 600 people, and we got less than 100 likes. Come on, people. We just watched Deuce and quickly become the next young backcourt. Can we get 300 likes in the next few minutes, people? Come on now. Get them likes up. Shout out to my man Guillermo all the way in Las Vegas. Shout out to you, big bro. Listen, when it comes to McBride, the first game I've seen the defense. I agree with you on that. Defense was there. It's been there the whole time. This kid, he is. If you had a definition, Sim, of a prototypical Tom Thibodeau guard, I think it's Deuce McBride, Sim. Like, it would be his picture there. I mean, besides D Rose, of course, but we know the guards that have been playing for Tom Thibodeau. This is Deuce McBride. His defense sim is there. The wingspan is there. Like you said, I believe the patience. I definitely agree with the patience. This kid's he's made for New York. These are the type of guys that we all love. You will see a lot of number 2 jerseys in New York, because of Deuce. This kid is made for the Garden. I mean, the shots he made today were just outstanding. But that defense, that stuck out to me more than the shots, because I feel like the shots are always going to come, and the shots are always going to come in and out. But the defense is that's what I really worry about with a guy like with a guy like Deuce and him playing a role on the team. It's going to be the defense and him just staying patient and him sticking there in. This kid's going to be big in the Garden. That's why I said, I think a couple of episodes ago, I know we lost Reggie Bullock and stuff like guys like that. That I wasn't really, because I believe the players that we picked up individually can play great defense. And hopefully these guys can pick up, on the team defense too. So I'm so excited for Deuce, man. This kid's going to be he's going to be a fan favorite. He already is a fan favorite. But when he really gets to the Garden and during this season, he's going to be great, man.
Hopefully. I mean, he's got to get on the floor. There's a lot of guards to get through for him to get on the floor. And, Tom Thibodeau is going to favor the guys that's been there, most likely. He'll see his time, though. He'll see his time. I think he'll see his time. But he's got a lot of guys to get through, to get on the floor. But, Nate?
Yeah, man. I mean, you're talking about my boy. I've been watching this guy since West Virginia. And if you guys know anything about West Virginia, they press the hell out of you. So he is very familiar with the press. He even said in the interview with Cassidy after the game that he loves to run full court press. He wants to run full court press. I mean, the guy is made for it. I mean, that's what they did at West Virginia. It was called Press Virginia for a reason. So his defense does not surprise me. He's got great footwork. He doesn't let the guy out of his sight. I mean, he pretty much shut down Reeves almost the whole game. I mean, he got a little handsy sometimes, but that could be taught. Other than that, he really just dog on defense, just a dog on defense. And he's a very patient dude. He even said in the interview after the game was over too, I just wait for the ball to come to me. It's not about his shots. It's about whatever it takes to make this team better. And if it starts with my defense early on, so be it. But if I need to make buckets, hey, I can do that too. I mean, this guy, even if he doesn't play this year, he's going to be patient and he's going to know his turn's coming. Kemba's only on a 2-year deal. I think there's a reason why, because I think they really have a lot of faith in this guy. In 2 years, that this guy is going to be ready to go.
Slow down.
I'm being serious, bro. He can do it.
Well, Kemba's on a 2-year deal, not just because, not just because of that. He's on a 2-year deal because he's injury. He's got injuries and
right.
And
but I'm just saying, in 2 years they're gonna have to make a decision on whether he's gonna, they're gonna re-up him if he's playing better, or they have another option, so they don't have to panic. Now they have somebody in the wings that's going to be mentored by 2 of the best point guards in the NBA. And I think the guy's ready. I think he'll be ready in 2 years.
All right. Well, let's see, anxious to see, what he looks like on an NBA floor and those things. We still got a few summer league games here, and then they'll hit, they'll get a little bit of a break, and then they'll get into training camp, and Tom Thibodeau's over there watching and looking, and he's got some plans. G-Mo, what's poppin' with you, brother? How you feeling, man?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I just,
Oh my God!
When I give the vision, why? I'm not here to lead nobody astray. I'm not here to lie to you. I'm not trying to bamboozle you. You know what I mean? When I gave y'all the vision and told y'all Deuce McBride was the real deal, was I lying to you? Even the guy I said to draft over Grimes, I'm not going to kill Grimes, and Josh Christopher was killing it. Now I see Knicks fans talking about, we should have got Josh Christopher. But when I say it, I'm crying.
Well, let him. Well, don't. I'm just gonna say to you, don't feel yourself yet until they do it in the league. That's all I'm saying. Let them do it in the league first before you start saying I told you this. Because if they get in the league and then they bum out, then you're gonna be like, well, they was nice in summer league. Just let them get in the league first.
That's 100% true.
Let them get in the league first. I mean,
that's 100%. That's 1,000% true.
What I'm saying is, give congrats to McBride because he's playing great. But I'm just saying to you, don't take it until he does it in the league. That's all I'm saying.
Guillermo, don't forget, Guillermo. Kevin Knox was the starting 5 summer league.
No. When I watched Kevin Knox in college versus when I watched McBride in college, night and day. Kevin Knox was blah, blah. I've been saying Miles McBride is a beast. He shut down Trey Mann. This guy's been shutting down, except for like Davion. Davion shot like 50%. But anyway, the guy's been doing this in college. What I say, he's a great catch and shoot shooter. Doing it now in the NBA, shot 41% from the field. Doing it now in the NBA. He's doing this more off the ball, playing off of IQ. By the way, that's a very underrated. I know it's not going to happen in regular season, but I love the chemistry between IQ and McBride. I got to say the IQ, people were killing IQ. I'm not saying he's a point guard yet like that. I still think he's better as a combo guard. But the court vision you saw from him tonight was 10 times better than last year. Using his aggressiveness to draw the defenses in, kick it out to McBride, who was hot from outside. He was calling the offenses. He was getting guys in position. Even though he missed some guys here and there, but it was a lot better compared to last year. So IQ, I give him kudos. Even his defense, he has to stop playing too much with his hands. He got a little bit too handsy at times, like against it was Joel Yahi for that first foul. I was screaming like, yo, bro, get your hands off of him because he had the leverage. He recovered. Then he got too handsy. And it's like he has to, get out of that emotional state of, trying to, I'll say this, the Knicks defense tonight, especially in that first half, was so beautiful to watch. These guys are aggressive. They were attacking each and every screen. Jericho Sims was hedging hard. It was beautiful to see, man. You can tell that Tom Thibodeau, the philosophy, everything that he's a part of on the, the starting rotations, whatever, it's seeping onto the younger kids. Like the way they play in that first half, especially on defense, was beautiful. I'll say this, I know, and I'm not going to kill Grimes. I'll say this about Grimes. He doesn't have a great first step. He's going to struggle. Like tonight, they did a lot more screening for him. But I'll say this, I think the shot's going to fall eventually.
It is.
The shot did not look bad, and he was just missing. I mean, I think he made like 2 threes out of what? 4?
He was
6?
2 for 8. 2 for 8.
2 for 8. I'm sorry, 2 for 8.
I agree with you. I think a lot of people are killing Grimes and saying this and saying that, but he had 9 rebounds tonight.
Oh, he was very aggressive.
Okay.
I'll give Grimes this. His defense, like one thing he has to stop doing is that he's very jumpy, and he's been falling for fakes for these past 2-3 games. He has to stop doing that because the NBA, they're going to abuse him. But I'll say this about him. Despite him not shooting well and despite everyone else doing well offensively, that never got into his head defensively.
Yep.
I've seen other guys on this Knicks team where the offenses ain't doing good, Peyton. It affects their defense. They start to tune out. And Grimes, you looked up in the late third quarter, he had like 8 rebounds.
Yeah.
I think it was late third quarter.
Right.
So I get to Grimes. Tonight, man, I think the Knicks, I was very impressed. To me, and I'm not saying this before, but McBride needs rotational medicine. I have to see him on the court. And it's not just because of tonight, because he shot 6 outside and that stuff. His court vision, too. 2 passes that struck me. That pass to Sims, cutting, that's not an easy pass. That's a pass I've seen. DSJ, I still remember to this day, DSJ had a pass to Mitchell Robinson, something similar near the top of the key off a pick. He couldn't make that pass because you're scared.
Well, I mean, let's see when they get into preseason, when he's out there.
I'll throw
because like most of these guys aren't going to be in the league,
right?
That they're playing against. So,
especially Sheldon.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man, when he spasmed that dunk, that
was bad. That's the second time he did it. Second time he did it this summer.
Oh.
Second time he did it.
By the way, Jericho Sims attempted. I don't know.
He attempted a 3. I said right. Listen, I've been saying for the past couple of days, Mitch could be in trouble. He attempted the 3, and I said, Mitchell Robinson's in trouble. I said it to myself. I said, Mitchell Robinson's in trouble. He attempted a 3, and it looked like it was going to go in.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it did look good.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
The past few games, he's been doing hook shots. The way, and granted, Mitch Robinson is an excellent offensive rebounder. This guy,
I'm gonna tell you right.
Like, he asserts himself in the paint. Like these past two games, they've been working hard to try to take Sims out the paint. Like he likes the contact. He's one of these like those kids that like he played too rough when he was younger. He likes the contact. I like his game. The fact he has a hook shot and his footwork is not the worst, and he shot the.
I'm excited about these guys. I'm excited.
Be a little bit of a threat.
Listen,
let me say.
Hold on. I'm excited about these guys, even Grimes. And I know people. I'm even excited about him because I do think that shot's gonna fall. He's probably not gonna get a lot of playing time on the team, but I think eventually those shots are gonna fall. One of the things I think with Grimes that I still think that he feels like he's that uber athletic guy that can jump over people and do things like that. And he's not that guy, right? So once he learns that he's not that guy, then I think he's going to be better. And he settles into what his abilities allow him to do because he still thinks he's that guy.
You sound like me.
When you and Andy were here on Saturday, everything that you said and everything you got killed for, I said the same thing, and people were killed. I said the boy shot 44% at the rim. He attacks the rim like he still attacks in high school. You can't do that. He needs to, and he struggled mid-range shots in college, but he didn't take enough of them. He has to realize, look, I can't beat these guys to the basket. I got to pick my spots, especially off the screens. This guy's going
or just stayed at the corner.
I don't think he attempted a shot at the rim today. I don't think he did.
No, those are threes.
If he did, it was an offensive foul.
It might have been at least one. He did pick up an offensive foul on a fast break, right? I think he picked up an offensive foul.
Oh yeah. You're right.
But that's
I think he was waiting for Obi, and then Obi was flashing at the wing three, and he kind of he's like, screw it, let me just go to basket. Like he has to, like people call him Allen Houston. Stop. He is not that.
But
no, Allen Houston had a mid-range shot, could get to his spots. Grimes can't do that. He can't. Every player, he cannot beat his man off the dribble. But the thing, like Sim just said, is perfect. He's not trying to be his man off the dribble to get to a spot in the mid-range. He's trying to be his man to the dribble to get to the basket.
Right.
And he don't got that. And that's
you don't need to. You don't need to do that. He just needs to stay at the 3-point line.
He's still doing it. That's the whole point. He's doing it, and it's to no avail. He needs to, but whether work on his mid-range, whatever. One thing about Grimes and another thing too, Sim, that I'm concerned about, when people say he's a 3-and-D player, which I hope he can be, go look at his numbers unguarded versus guarded shots in college. Guarded shots and catch and shoots in college, he did great. Unguarded catch and shoots, he was not so good at, which gives me concerns that again, I'm not saying this is the end-all be-all, but I'm hoping that he can improve because that means that he might be more of a rhythm shooter versus, you better not let him open because he's gonna knock down those threes. So whatever it is, I hope he could work on being a reliable shooter that when no one's around him, he can hit these open shots, that the nerves aren't in him or whatever, because that's going to be his best bet in NBA. He don't got to step like that. They're going to use screens and stuff to get him open, but if he can't hit those shots reliably where, you don't want games where guys are backing off of a so-called 3-and-D play because he can't hit shots. So, again, I'm not too concerned yet, but those are things that, he needs to.
He just needs to do what Bullock did for us. Basically, be out there, shoot the three, improve your defense. I still think he had some bad lapses on those defensive, and he got in that backdoor really bad. I mean, he's got to work on that defense. But I mean, just keep improving. Just be that open 3-point shooter that Bullock was. I really think that's all we really need from him. We're not asking for the world for this guy. I mean, there's a reason why he fell so far. I mean, his game is limited.
Well, I didn't think he fell far because again, he was projected to be around the late 20s, early.
Some people had him in the second round, man. Some people had him in the second round.
He was projected to be in the second until the combine. And I get scared of combine performances because that's not your game, bro. People are not trying to get injured out there, so you might shine. So it scares me a little bit that they were, that was their guy. And again, I'm rooting for him,
I'm not worried about it because I think, like even today, right, there were plays I seen today. He made game-winning plays. Like I remember that one play where he kept the ball.
Yeah, he balled out of the scrimmage too in the combine.
Yeah, And I mean, he got rebounds. Again, I think the scoring and the shot making is going to come. I'm not worried about that with Grimes. Again, the defense was there tonight for him. I mean, I guess he did get beat a couple times, but he's still young. He's only 21. And, again, we've seen the way his story is, and we see how he had to reinvent himself. And he might have to reinvent himself again a little bit, like you said, Gilmore.
He will.
And he might have to learn that he has to learn he's not the guy athletically no more, and he has to learn more about him, being a better shooter. Like, if I was him, I would kind of look more at Danny Green, like more Danny Green towards I know he should look more towards Danny Green around the Spurs area of his career, maybe even the Lakers' career part of Danny Green to really get a feel of what he should be. But again, he's 21, he'll be fine.
But look, you say he doesn't have it anymore. He never had it. It was just he was playing against inferior talent in high school. You know what I mean? But he never, even if you see him in high school when he goes up, he was never way above the rim and beat people with superior speed. He beat people because, he was a little bit crafty with how he could use his dribble, right? And good timing and going off the dribble. And then, of course, he was playing with inferior talent. That's why when I did that, me and Andy did the Coach's Corner, what I said is when he got to Kansas, maybe it wasn't that the system didn't fit. It's just that he wasn't as talented as he thought he was. And so he could not create for himself. He had to rely on other people. He wasn't used to that because he was on the ball when he was in high school. He had the ball in his hand. He was the primary ball handler, although he's not a point guard. He's a shooting guard. They had to do it out of necessity. So he reinvented himself in Houston, realizing that, okay, I can be off the ball, let somebody else do this, let someone else do that. But he still had times where he could create for himself in Houston. Now he's playing with guys who's been in the league or in some of the top players that's in college, and he's finding out again, all right, I can't even beat my guy off the dribble. So he's got to learn how to find his spots, be able to be a knockdown shooter. And, I'm going to trust that if he did it once, he can tweak his game a little bit more. Now, I don't think, though, that the Knicks looked at the combine because, there were reports way before the combine that they were really interested, that they liked him. They had interviews with him and did whatever with him, worked him out and everything like that. And they liked him. There was reports for both guys, Grimes and McBride, that they liked them guys. So we'll see how that goes with them. I don't know. Yeah,
hey, Sam, I got a question. Because of the fact is that Tibbs doesn't play young guys, and we right now have a pretty deep two-man rotation as far as position wise. Do you see him playing in the G League?
Who, Grimes?
Sending him down to the G League and letting them get more live action.
They could. I don't see why not. You know what I mean? If he can go get some minutes and play, right? Go get some minutes and play. Do what it is that you got to do in the G League, just so that you play basketball. But now, with Frank Ntilikina, they asked Tom Thibodeau, "Will you send Frank down to the G League?" And he was like, "No."
Maybe he knew Frank was already leaving.
So he might have. They asked him about Knox, and he said no. Both of those guys. So
I would say this for Grimes. He has to see Dwayne Bacon, who, if he somehow makes a team, that has to be a litmus test, right? Now, Dwayne Bacon this past season struggled defensively. Actually, he was better the year before with less minutes. He's not a good shooter, right? I'm looking, and I get what you're saying. Now I'm getting your freaking name now. I apologize.
Nate.
Nate, I'm sorry, Nate. I was going to call Andy. No. It's no disrespect. I swear my life. I have a bad memory. It's not Nate.
It's okay.
My man get a nice hotel, go to Vegas. He forget people, man. That's crazy.
Hotel. This is that couch over there. I ain't sitting on that couch. This is not a nice. Anyway.
I can see dust flying from here. No, I'm joking.
I see orange film on it, and there's no orange.
Black light thing.
Yo, Sid, you see? I don't know if that's the bathroom sink behind I don't know if he in the bathroom. I don't know. It looked like he was looking for a movie. I don't know. My man at the motel.
I'll say this about Grimes. He got to be able to beat out. To just me, I understand the G League thing. It would be nice if he gets some time in the G League. I don't know how that works because he'll be a first round. He can't sign up 2 ways. I'm not expert that you guys are. It'll be nice to see him there, but if I'm him, I'm looking at Dwayne Bacon like that's food right there. I gotta still if he can't take in my rotation minutes. That the front office has to see that as a mistake that they should not have signed Dwayne Bacon. They should have relied on me as a guy to come off the bench and give him a good solid 5-10 minutes a game just to come and defend, which he's decent at. But again, he has to work on keeping his feet on the floor. He moves way too much. He jumps in the air, jumps for fakes. Duarte had him on that, that lucky 3 a few games ago. You know what I mean? And he has to be able to knock down that open shot because he's going to have opportunities in the corner. He's going to, and another thing too, I would love to see him be, it's Summer League, so obviously not happening. But if he gets even rotate, I would love to see him move a little bit more, cutting baseline, being used off the ball a little bit more, to at least use what athleticism he actually does have to his advantage. Whereas, you can't now, if you try to recover him, now you're going to foul him because he's already at the basket off a baseline cut or something like that. But to me, I think part of it is mental. But I'll say this about him, just like I said, yes, he did adapt this game the first time, but he has to stop thinking that you're going to beat past these dudes. I see him sometimes try to dribble. He loses dribble a little bit, and I'm like, dogs, it ain't it, man. And you trying to cut or attack from the top of the key, and there's 2-3 guys already there. Right. That's just not it. But Summer League, too, is kind of hard because they're not really calling plays for him like that. But we will see. Except for tonight, they call a lot more screens for him to shoot those shots. Mm-hmm. It didn't go in. So let's see next game. Maybe he might hit these shots and he goes 4 for 4 from outside.
I think that's his best thing is coming off those screens. He does a really good job of those.
Yeah.
He does.
I mean, each time he scored, each time he scored on that first play of the game, it's been coming off those screens. They hitting that little handoff thing. He comes off the screen, catches it, shoots. If he can see a couple of them go in at a good percentage, maybe he'll get his confidence in.
But also, defenders off the hip, trap defenders off the hip. One thing I want to see is that when those guys are recovering, instead of trying to shoot the shot as quick as possible, now RJ's been doing that better in the second season. IQ did it his rookie season. Those guys are going to try to recover and get over the screen, right? Use that to your advantage. They know you're a shooter, so they're trying to jump and attack, trap that guy on the hip. You know what I mean? And then take your chance at the basket. Now if you trap the guy on the hip, now the help defense has to come and commit. You have a pass down low maybe, or if the help defense doesn't come and commit, you have a floater. Or even if you get in a good enough space, you can do the little jump step and shoot the little mid-range shot. You know what I mean? So it's going to come, but those are things I want to see creatively from him where you don't have to be uber athletic. It's all about being smarter within the confines of your game.
Exactly. What was you going to say?
I was going to say something. If there was a chance Frank Ntilikina ever was to come back, I think that would shut down tonight.
So they did what?
If Frank had a chance to ever come back to the team,
bro, he's gone. He ain't coming back, bro.
I think it was over tonight.
No. It was over when they didn't offer him the listen. It was over last year.
It was over when Jack the Deuce.
It was over last season, bro.
Yeah.
He ain't ever coming back.
Our next game we play the Pistons.
Cade.
Right? So that means Cade is going to be out there.
Deuce is going to be licking his chops. Round 2.
What kind of matchups you looking at for that? What do you want to see? And who do you want? I mean, obviously we want to see Deuce.
Grimes versus McBride. Look, Cade is as polished as you can be as a rookie. This guy, Grimes needs to take a page out of Cade Cunningham's book. The guy can get to his spots. He uses leverage perfectly getting to the basket. He's not fast. Cade ain't gonna sit there. Now he'll cross you over. There's a misstep, but he's not fast like that. And this is gonna be a great test for Grimes having to keep his feet on the floor because Cade will try to get him out of his socks a few times. And then also you have to account for Saddiq Bey. Like Saddiq Bey and Cade, do not be surprised if those guys are in the playoffs in the next maybe 2 to 3 years. They are very poised. They play very well. Bey on the outside, and Bey also too. This guy's been beasting that. Like Bey, I'll give that to you, Sim. You called that out last season. Bey has been. He looks good. I think he's gonna take a next step. But Cade just has such a controlled, beautiful game, and Killian Hayes too is now starting. I think they're still going to try to play Cade a little bit more on the ball, but they have a nice little nucleus of young players that I think could pop in the next 2 to 3 years. So this upcoming match, I don't know how they're going to do what they're going to do with McBride because Sadiq Bey is what 6'7"?
Yeah, Sadiq Bey is like 6'6", 6'7".
And then Cade Cunningham is what 6'8". So
Yeah.
I don't know who's guarding who. I don't know how McBride is going to guard those dudes. But
you know what's crazy? I'm with you, Jim. I want to see McBride and I want to see McBride guard Cade.
He's
I think
done
he
it.
can do it.
Shut him down.
He's done it. I think he can do it again.
Cade was shut down by partially shut down by Davion Mitchell. So I will give him that you can have some of it. I'm pretty sure McBride had a decent game against Cade. I don't remember exactly the game.
Yeah, when they played West Virginia and Oklahoma State.
I don't remember the exact score, how much Cade had. But one thing I do like what McBride does, and this definitely helps, and Davion does it too, you attack the guy early and often, or early at the top of the key or above the break where they can't get into their spots. They're sitting there trying to, push off your hand and then trying to, then they have to basically pick up the dribble, kick it out. So, McBride is such a smart defender. I think he could shut down Cade in that regard. Like, they might try to do some things to get Cade in the low post against McBride, and now you have to bring the help defense, which, again, tonight was excellent, especially in the first half for the most part. In the first half, mostly. So, yeah, I'm interested to see the matchups, too. Also, Jericho Sims. Who do they have? They have Jeremy Green, but he's obviously not playing. But
they got that Luka kid, or
Luka Garza.
What's that?
Oh, Luka Garza. Yeah, Luka Garza. He's been playing fairly solid, but Luka Garza's a poor defender, so I want to see Jericho Sims assert himself.
Isn't Stewart in there too?
Yeah.
Isaiah Stewart, or is he playing in there?
No,
He's not.
He was with Indiana.
Raptors,
Oh, never mind. Isaiah. I think
He's not.
Wait, no. It's two. I'm sorry, I messed it up. Yeah, it is. Pressure Chu is on Raptors. Isaiah Stewart is
Yeah.
They have Cinco de Bayo. The Pistons.
Oh, Sekou Demboya. Oh, yeah, the four.
Cinco de Bayo,
Demboya.
Well, it's going to be a good matchup. It's going to be a good matchup for the Knicks. It's going to be definitely a good matchup.
Quickly's going to have his hands full with Killian. That's going to be a tough matchup for Quickly. Quickly hasn't really had to play against anybody really on defense. Killian can move.
Yeah, so looking at the Pistons, the Pistons roster, you have Cade Cunningham, of course, Killian Hayes, Isaiah Livers, Balsa Kaprovica, Tyler Cook, Isaiah Stewart, Saban Lee, Sadiq Bey, Anthony Tark, Chris Smith, Sekou Demboya, Blake Francis, Grant Jarrett, and Spencer Littleson.
Who is giving
Xavier Lee can ball out, man. Xavier Lee can play. He's been really playing well too.
Those are some terrible names, but yeah, we're gonna see, man.
Yeah, so and listen, Isaiah Stewart. Yeah, Isaiah Stewart is a big guy. Obviously, he played in the league last year, and he's 6'8". He's going to be a good guy for Jericho to match up against, and see what he can do against a guy that's played in the league. You know what I mean? So that should be a good
different, man.
And he's an aggressive guy, Isaiah Stewart. He's an aggressive guy that can rebound the basketball, physical, tough.
Man, so I'm super excited for Simpson. I really believe if you get this kid a year in the G League, man, this kid Sims gonna be nice, man.
Yeah, he'll get a year in the G League. He'll get a chance to play with the Knicks. He'll get a chance to play in the G League, so because he's on the two-way, so he'll get to practice with the Knicks, and they'll get a chance to see him up against Mitch and see him up against Nerlens Noel.
Hey, so let me say, if he would have made that three, I almost guarantee you Mitchell Robinson would have fired another agent and been like, "Get me out of New York because they ain't gonna sign me."
We'll see what happens, man. Last thing, Obi Toppin, I'm impressed with what Obi's doing so far. He still has a lot of work to do, and he's doing it against, guys that's not going to be in the league. A lot of them, but I like what I'm seeing. I like the mentality from him. I really like we talked about it in the pregame. I really like the rebounding mentality from him. He had 11 rebounds tonight, and that's where I think he can start to gobble up some minutes behind Julius Randle. If he's an aggressive rebounder and he plays defense, I think he can gobble up some minutes. He can take those from 12 minutes to maybe 18, 19 minutes a game. If he could do
and
that.
make that 3-pointer at a consistent rate,
and so if he works on his defense, we can possibly start talking about Obi and Randall playing together, and having a quick lineup and having those we can beat teams with our speed, and versus just having a traditional center playing his defense, we can have some quick offensive lineups with Obi and Randall. And I want to say this, Sim, and I feel like this is a big year for Obi. And if I'm Tom Thibodeau, you know what I'm saying to Obi, Sim? I'm saying be the leader of the second unit.
Well,
that should be one of Obi's goals. Well, you know what I'm trying to be co-leader. Be co-leader with Derrick Rose on the second unit. I run that second unit. That's yours. Those are your guys. You're the man. You're the focal point of the team on the second unit. I think that would be a good, reasonable goal for Tom Thibodeau to say to Obi Toppin is to be the leader on the second unit.
You think so?
And
you think so?
I think so.
I mean,
I think more of a scoring thing.
Yeah, I can see him. Being. I don't even know if he would be the second leading scorer in that second unit, but he's going to be a major part of the scoring, but you got Quickly, Derrick Rose, and Alec Burks. It's hard for me to see Obi being the leader of that second unit.
But I'm saying I think it would be a good challenge, though.
Here's what he could be. He could be like the queen on the chess piece because I don't think his dribbles are there yet where I want him driving against people yet. Like, him with the ball in his hands, he's something offense, like say how IQ does. But I would like to see him where he's moving off screens off the ball and then cutting to the basket for that pass and then finish.
Mm-hmm.
Or, because I think he and I would love to see him where they could get plays where they could switch him onto small defenders. Because I'll say this about Obi. His footwork in the post against smaller guys, much more improved compared to last year.
Yes.
He loves that. Now you see him too. He would take that step and that hard step with the right spin on the left and then throw it, he's as if he's turning baseline to throw it off the backboard. I've seen him make, 3, 4 of those, maybe 3 of those so far this preseason on typically small defenders when he switches onto them. By the way, he had one tonight from an assist from McBride because McBride, God bless you. A+, whatever, you're good. You don't go to class. But I would definitely like to see it with Obi again. And the 3-point shot, he looks a lot more confident. Last year, sometimes he would,
100%. Oh my God.
It looks a lot more confident. Now the form is he still brings it low a little bit. So the low is supposed to be he flicks it from low too. But as long as he has good handle on it and he can control it, especially in the corner today, man. So he could be a queen on the chess piece for that second unit where you always he may not be the guy on the ball, but you have to account for him. And having a guy like Derrick Rose, IQ as your other combo guard, I definitely think like those second, third quarters where the Knicks sometimes struggle, he could definitely, that could be a problem for teams, man. Just better decision making by Obi, knowing his spots on the floor. Absolutely. And also too, Obi was, I'm not sure if you see, the whole team seemed to be good on the boards tonight, but Obi and obviously Grimes did a really good job in attacking the boards. I don't know how many he had, but I just always saw either Obi or Grimes somewhere near the boards.
Obi had 11 rebounds.
Yeah, Obi had 11. Grimes had 9, and McBride had 7.
One thing else.
Let McBride rest. Let's keep him out of this conversation. He's okay.
One thing also too, I'd like to add with Obi. I'd like to see that mid-range jump shot too. I mean, I think with his size, especially if he's being guarded by smaller guys, him being able to take that little mid-range jump shot, I think he could be lethal with that. Especially if they take him off the 3-point line.
Yeah, I think he's got to, if you're saying like with a man in his face, he's got to work on his
or if he's just open. If they run him off the line, hey, step in, take a mid-range jumper.
Right.
Well, I think
get that down.
I think for Obi, I do agree with you, Nate, that he eventually he'll run the mid-range. But let's get it one thing at a time for him. I think what his main mission is right now for the team is to be that space floor, because I really do believe they want Randle and him to play together. That's why you see him shooting these kind of threes nowadays. You see him you see him in the corners, and you see him up top with the threes. So I think they definitely wanted him and Randle to play. But I do agree with you. Mid-range definitely should be coming soon, because again, you do want once he gets him on top of key, if he can pump fake, hit a little mid-range
bread and butter shot, man. Yeah. Right there, bread and butter.
Another thing I want to see Obi do, and I want to see him do it in his summer league. I want to see him when he rises up to go to the basket, he's starting to like rock it.
Mm-hmm.
Rock the ball, try to get it around the defender. I just want him to go straight to the rim.
Dunk it, man. Let's see those dunks like we saw in Dayton.
But listen, them guys might jump up and he might not dunk it. But I don't want to see him jumping in the air and bringing the ball down and rocking it. I just want him to go straight to the rack and try to dunk it. Make it or miss it. Just go to the rack and try to dunk it on him.
I'm with you, man. I feel like he's been holding back on that.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is he can shoot free throw. That's why he should be doing it. He should. I see what you're talking about, because he tried to do that Julius Erving, try to like hang time, and I've seen him do that. So I think I do agree with you. He shouldn't be going straight up, because worst case scenario, he's going to either get blocked or he's going to get a foul call. So
you know what it is, Sim, too, and I agree with Nate too, because I would like to see him, and I guess this goes to the whole point. He gets flustered, like when he beats his first man, and he sees a help defense comes up or is about to come up, and he gets like flustered. Like he just like it's like he just goes to like this barbaric like screw it, let me just try to muscle my way whatever, versus having like a plan like, all right, I know that guy's creeping in. If I beat my first guy, sometimes in this situation it might be better for me to take the mid-range shot, the floater, or all right, I'm coming around this screen and I'm yamming it. He's going to offensive foul because I'm going straight to the basket. And I think sometimes he gets like flustered, tries to pull it back. Another thing too, he has to be a little bit better on the rolls to the basket off the picks. He's not. And it's a thing with the Knicks. They don't set maybe outside of Jericho Sims. They don't set good picks. So
we do not.
They're very poor rolls to the basket. I mean, like sometimes he's like, I don't know how to put it. It's like sometimes his hands is like he fumbles a ball, or like how he rolls to the basket. The time is a little bit off. Like Jericho Sims, I don't know. I gotta give him to the front office. That's a great scouting, because it wasn't this game. I think it was the last game, the game before the first game. He was coming to the basket delayed on time, or it was like there's a variety of ways he's come to the basket, but it was perfect, right? Obi, it was like some he'd just set the pick and he just roll the basket without, IQ didn't come around the screen well enough. Now IQ is stuck or something like that. So he has to get a little bit better. And set picks that block the guy out and then roll to the basket.
Right. And that's what Jericho Sims does. That's why his timing is there, because he comes off and then he's seeing, what's happening. And then he'll roll at the right time. Sometimes he might freeze, he might stop and wait a second, freeze the defender, and he might get the roll off of the second pass, not even from the person who came off. Like you've seen it a few times maybe throughout the summer league, where he'll set a screen for quickly it come off, but then when quickly passes it to the corner to McBride or whoever else is in the corner, then he dives to the basket. You know what I'm saying? And they're able to find him, and he does whatever he can do. And, that's I guess that's with Obi, you know what I mean? We talked about before just the with him jumping around from so many different schools and these type of things. Maybe there's that training just wasn't there, and it's going to take him some time to pick up those little nuances of the game. I don't know, or maybe he never will. But
I think one of our big problems, like Guillermo said, is a screen. We don't got no pause. We don't got no big guys. Like all our guys are like skinny. Like why?
That's why Jericho Sims is there. now.
You're right. You're right.
That's why Jericho Sims is there.
Mitch better watch out, man. That kid is summer league. I get it, but he shot a 3, and it didn't feel janky. It like you look at Jericho Sims, everything is assertive. Like, okay, I shot 60% at the rim or at the free throw line last year. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't that, but it's like the post-up game. And I'm saying he has a great one, but he has at least a move.
Yeah.
He reminds me of like Jared Allen, who has a little bit more in his bag than.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
And athletic and Jared Allen.
Mitch with that money. Now, again, I get on social media, get you a damn shooting coach, get you Olajuwon just to teach you one move.
Yeah.
One little drive to the basket, step hard, spin move right there.
Yeah.
Something because they're not.
Because
if he doesn't play the whole season, Sim, he's not giving you like 10 and 10. I'm not. How do you pay? Again, I like Mitch Robinson, but how do you pay him? Justify paying him 12, 13,
I get it.
14, 15
I get it. I get it.
Is he restricted? Or?
No, he's unrestricted.
He's unrestricted.
No, see, and I also get my. I think I want people to understand this. There's no way in heck the Knicks are paying 3 centers. So one of them are going.
Well. I mean, I don't know how long right now, Jericho Sims is a 2-way guy.
He's cheap as hell. Man.
Right, he's super cheap. He's a 2-way guy, and he can stay as a 2-way for 2 or 3 years. He can be a 2-way guy. So,
this guy's in the crack rotation at some point. Maybe not this year, but at least next year for sure. Especially if Mitch is gone.
Yeah.
Well, listen. We got to be careful. We got, and I really like Jericho Sims. I really, really do. But we got to see him doing this against NBA players. And let's not get ahead of ourselves. Mitchell Robinson still is the best center that we got, and he is a game changer for us. The way we play, and the way he affects the game. So it's not. And I get that people are excited, and I do like. Listen, if he would have made that 3, I think we would have been super excited. But we love to see the effort. But again, what Mitchell Robinson brings, I think it was day and night. What you seen when he went down and New Orleans was the lead guy, and we really missed him because we were getting bullied by Capella.
There's no doubt that we missed him, but I just feel like the things that Mitchell Robinson brings from what we've seen so far, Jericho Sims can bring it too.
Sim, you do this every time. You got to be careful, Sim. So you got to
like someone like Mitchell Robinson.
All I'm saying is that I think he brings it.
He never liked Mitchell Robinson.
I think he can stretch. I think he can stretch the floor vertically, right? So you can throw him a oop. He can go up and get it. Maybe not as high as Mitchell Robinson, because Mitchell Robinson has really, really long.
Yeah, but you want to know what you want to know the truth.
Hold on, don't cut me off.
My bad, brother. My bad.
Impatient. Kind of like Obi coming off that screen. Impatient. Right? He can stretch the floor vertically. He can dribble out of trouble, which we have yet to see Mitchell Robinson do that. Right? He took at least 1 3 today. So, hopefully, there's some proof that he has some confidence shooting the 3. And something else that he does that Mitchell Robinson, I've never really seen him do?
Set picks.
Well, he can set picks, right? He can set picks. He's really good at setting picks. But he can command his spot under the basket. He can bully some people out of the way and go up. I've never seen Mitchell Robinson do that. He can get the... we've seen Jericho Sims already in the Summer League have the ball under the basket with 3 people around him and power through and score.
Yep.
Sim, be careful because now people are saying we hate Mitch. Look,
I don't hate
Mitchell Robinson is still a really good talent. He's one of the best offensive rebounders in the game. We struggle without him in the playoffs.
But he's got to give us something on the offensive end other than dunks. He's got to give us something else.
We're pointing out the raw abilities that Jericho Sims has. And again, this is Summer League. Jericho Sims might come in and average 5 fouls at best in the NBA. So
he might.
We're not saying that Mitch is that he's already better than Mitch over. We just point out things in this game that naturally him coming in that you may not have to teach. You still have to teach Mitch some of these things. And again, because Mitch of his background, how young he was coming to the league. We get it. Jericho Sims spent, what, 3 years? 4 years in college?
Yeah, Jericho, he's 21.
Yeah, he's 4 years.
21. He's coming into
He's
the league
the oldest
at
of the
21.
rookies. All 4 rookies.
No one's saying on Mitch. No one even said to trade Mitch, but we're saying to Mitch. I would love Mitch to be on his team at a good contract, and he has a post. We talk about this all the time, but it's up to Mitch. The NBA does not wait for anybody. If
No, it does not.
starts taking minutes, and he's looking, they're going to say like, do we have to pay Mitch? That's what they do in the NBA. If you have a guy who's still a question mark in Mitch, and God forbid, knock on wood, I do not want this to happen. Say he gets hurt, and Jericho Sims starts to fill in minutes, and because Nozzle has brick hands, and I still like Nozzle, but then say Jericho Sims starts to get some situation minutes, and he's commanding the post and the boards like he has in Summer League, they might say, well, thank you, Mitch, for your services, but we're not going to pay you 15, 20 million.
Gamble, you want to know what it really is, Gamble? Sim's still mad about Mitchell Robinson agent giving him a harmonica.
Why would I be
That's
mad
really-
about that?
Because who the hell wants a harmonica?
Me.
But hold on, so
I like music. I used to play around with harmonicas when I was a kid. Yes. Why
Hey,
would
don't
I be
knock
mad
harmonicas,
about
man.
that?
Harmonicas are the best.
Now, listen, God rest my grandma soul. She used to play harmonicas too. God bless her.
Aw.
But Sim, I have to read one of these comments because this is from Anthony D.
Hold on. Before we get to Ant D, let me read a couple of super chats. Ghost Rider, thank you for the super chat. He said, salute Sim. He said, I'm with our point guard, Deuce Smith. I'm with our future point guard, Deuce McBuckets. That's what he called
Yes,
him,
sir.
Deuce McBuckets. And then Chuck Moss said McBride will set up Obi better than IQ or Burks.
I might have to agree with that.
A good court vision. Really good court vision.
He said McBride would do what?
He'll set up Obi better than IQ or Burks.
Like we look. As much as I like McBride, the NBA game is a different speed, man. Like we can't sit here and marginalize Burks and his ability. Burks is still better. I mean, look at this. Burks can at least trap guys on. Like, let's not do that. As much as we like McBride, again, we have not seen him in the NBA game yet, or the regular season, obviously against these guys. So let's not poo-poo on Burks just yet, man. Burks is still a guy who can trap defenders on the hip, get deep into the paint, and then kick it out to the right guy. That's why he looked so good in those games. I think he came back from injury in the fourth quarter because he could facilitate in traffic, score in traffic. So let's not do that. But McBride, his court awareness tonight.
Hey, Sam, I got a question.
Hold on.
McBride,
Let me get back to Isaiah real quick, and then
Go for it.
Go ahead, Isaiah.
I have to do So Anthony D said, Sim, relax. You fall in love every summer league. Remember your Knox predictions. LOL.
I didn't make any predictions about Knox. I didn't make any. See, people don't listen well. I said I thought he was more versatile than Kristaps Porzingis, and I said we got to see what he can do in the league. See, people just hear what they want to hear, and I'm saying the same things about Jericho Sims. I think he has a lot of things that Mitchell Robinson doesn't have, but we still got to see what he does in the league.
She said, "Don't do this now." He can't say.
Hey, it's all on video. You can go back and look at it all you want. I know what I said, and I'm saying the same thing right now.
Oh,
Jericho Sims has some things that I don't think Mitchell Robinson has, but he still has to do it in the league.
Hey, Sid, I'm just gonna let you know now.
What else do you want me to say? You want me. So we have people out here that want me to not say what I really think because they want me to say what they think, right? So don't say what I really think. Just don't say nothing. Just say, don't say that I think Jericho Sims is a threat to Mitchell Robinson because Anthony D might get mad. Hell no. Anthony D gets mad, get mad. I think he's a threat.
That's what sports debate's all about.
Anthony D responded. He said, "You hosted Nick. You hosted Knox to the Raptors.
Hoisted.
You got to say it right first. I didn't hoist anybody. I didn't even hoist Kristaps Porzingis to the Raptors.
I'm sorry because you said hosted. I didn't think. All right, I'm sorry.
Isaiah.
I didn't even hoist Kristaps Porzingis.
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
Everybody killed me because I was like, I don't think Kristaps Porzingis is good in the post. I think he's soft. I think da-da-da, and everybody smashed and killed me. You hate Kristaps Porzingis. You know, you just hating on him. You don't like him. He ain't even playing for the Knicks no more.
You did like him.
It wasn't about if I liked him. I was cool with him. I just said there are things that I thought he needed to work on. I thought he was soft.
Being critical of him.
I was tired of seeing Marcus Smart throw his ass to the floor. I wanted him to get tough.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Right? I wanted him to get a post game. I wanted him to do more than just run up the floor and catch a three, catch the ball at the top of the key and shoot the three. Right? There were things that I wanted to see from him. What's wrong with that?
So
that don't mean that I dislike the player.
So 3 years from now, people are going to be like, Sim, you said Jericho Sims was going to be better than Mitch. What happened?
Did I now see? There you go. See what I'm saying? When did I ever say he was going to be better than Mitch? That's where people put words in other people's mouth. I never said he's going to be better than Mitch. I said he can do things that Mitch can't do.
So, Sam, what do you think about this? Who do you think will be our most impactful rookie this season? Like in terms of us trying to be in the playoff hunt again this season. Who do you think will be our most impactful rookie?
McBride.
I
think easy, and I think that's easy. One, we were talking about this in the pregame. One, if Kemba Walker gets hurt, right? People automatically think Derrick Rose is going to step up into that starting lineup. You might not see that. If Tom Thibodeau is confident in McBride, you might see McBride step into that into the first unit, so that the second lineup can stay the same. Right? So let's say Kemba's out for, to rest his knee. You might see McBride start that night. So that way you keep the second unit the same. Well, because it makes no sense. You already got to add another, a different player to the starting unit. Then all of a sudden you got to add a different player to the second unit. So just take someone like McBride, put him in the starting unit. You keep the second unit the same. And the only adjustment is in that first unit. Plus, he can play defense, and that's what you would ask him to do. Get the ball up the floor, play defense, knock down an open three if it comes your way. You give him those responsibilities as a rookie. So I think he will be the most impactful out of the rookies that we have. Because he's gonna have to play some minutes due to Derrick Rose and Kemba Walker's injury history, I think.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Sim, I'm sorry. Anthony D is hilarious. He didn't come on the show. He said, somebody find Sim's harmonica.
I got it sitting right here next to my signed Walt Clyde Frazier basketball. And my signed New York Giants, 2008 New York Giants football, signed by the team. I got it sitting right next to those.
Great year, by the way. Great year.
Got it sitting right next to those. So you don't need to find it. I play it every night. Anyway, I'm about to get up out of here because it's early in the morning.
People be bugging.
Yeah, it's early in the morning. Well, it's not early for Gmo. He might have some jet lag, though. He might have some jet lag.
I already lost some money earlier today. It's late enough for me. I need to chill out, man.
Yeah. Were you at the game tonight?
Say it again?
Did you make it to the game tonight?
Yeah, I made it to the game. So I watched 3 games, man. Really good games. I watched Toronto versus the Warriors. I watched the Magic versus the Cavaliers, and then I watched obviously the Knicks game. Man, you guys, if you guys can, you guys should plan something next year. At least to go to one of these games. It's a great environment, man. It is fun. Like the Knicks game was probably the highlight because you had Lakers fans, you had one girl every time. You probably can hear in the broadcast every time IQ or someone shot from the Knicks a foul shot, she's like doing some crazy. The Knicks fans on the other side were like defense, like. I heard that. I would definitely advise you. It's very fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to.
Steph Curry?
Sorry, y'all breaking up. Why?
I don't know.
I said, did you see Steph Curry?
Well,
did I see who?
He said Steph Curry. I don't know.
Steph
I don't know
Curry.
where that came. We're talking about the Knicks, and
When he was at the game.
I don't know. A lot of people was at the game, but anyway, I'm definitely trying. I wanted to try to go. I did want to try to go this year, but just some other things got in the way.
That'd be a hell of a rookie class right there.
I definitely want to go next year, and it'd be nice if we can get a group of people to go, and we can do some things. That'd be dope.
It'd be very dope.
That'd be dope.
You.
But anyway, I'm heading out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Any last words, Isaiah? Real quick, last words.
Sim, this is my bold prediction. The New York Knicks will have the best guard play next season. We're gonna have the best guard unit in the league.
Okay, we'll see.
That's definitely bold.
We'll see. I don't know, Nate.
Hey man, keep the good vibes going. We've got some young guys that are only going to get better, and go Knicks. Guillermo, don't spend all your money.
Gmo.
McBride, man, I'll just say this to you guys. You're welcome.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. Appreciate you. I'll be back. Well, I'll probably have a video or two come out tomorrow, and then we'll be back on Friday. You still gonna be there Friday?
Oh yeah, I'm here till next Tuesday.
Okay. So, are you gonna do anything before the game or anything like that? Like.
So I'm gonna do a video now. I'm gonna do a video tomorrow just to break down again. I wrote so many stupid notes. People looking at me like I'm crazy, but so I have something tomorrow on Thursday, and I may also have a tape thing. But yeah, and I also probably just talk about some of the other rookies and stuff like that people watching.
Okay.
Just talk about real stuff. So
all right, that's dope. We're looking forward to it, ladies and gentlemen. Out of here. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Nick.